Saturday morning, it's time for the Experts program right here on Power Talk Radio, 1460 AM and 101.1 FM. And our tech expert, the CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, Luis Alvarez, joining us right now. Hello, Luis.
Hello, my friend. How are you? Before you.
Okay. Hey, jumping into some of the stories that we have this weekend and some really good ones. First thing is from ABC7 KGO-TV in San Francisco. We have a story here that a Morgan Hill woman says that a prowler used a Wi-Fi jammer to disable her home security camera system and then tried to enter her home. I recall either a few months ago or last year, you and I talked about this kind of crime being a possibility, and here it is happening basically in our backyard.
Yeah, it's amazing. In this case, she had a home surveillance system that she tried to access, and she wasn't able to because these video cameras all connect up through Wi-Fi. And with the jammer in place, she couldn't get to the cameras, but the cameras kept on recording because they store a certain amount of video on the camera itself. So when the Wi-Fi was back online, she was able to look at the recordings and see that somebody was attempted to get into her house. But the fact that they used this Wi-Fi jammer is surprising and alarming.
What can somebody do to protect their home security system from being assaulted by a Wi-Fi jammer, being compromised?
Unfortunately, if you're depending on Wi-Fi for accessing those systems, which most people do because it's easier than trying to hardwire, a camera or retrofit a camera with wiring in an older home, there's not much you can do. The Wi-Fi signals, these jammers are available either through, nefarious sources like the dark web or through some gaming sites that sell them. And the good news, though, is that, like I said, the cameras, at least if they are set to record on motion, for example, they'll still do that. So you'll be able to get access to that video after the fact.
I guess the one thing you could do is, as we talked about before, was hardwiring the system. Now, what you'd have to be careful of is if you hardwired the cameras, like with Ethernet cable, and the cable is exposed on the outside, a perp could just jump up there and cut it. So what you'd end up looking at is maybe, and what we're going to have to see here is a complete redesign of the system where the, say like the metal tubing that would hold the camera, the arm, the Ethernet cable would have to travel through that, and then the Ethernet jack would be on the end of that tubing so that it wouldn't be exposed at all. And that would be the only way to do it in a hardwired sense.
Yeah, we do a lot of video surveillance systems for our clients, both for, just regular video surveillance and also for our Deep Sentinel incident response system, which is designed to intervene when it's kind of a virtual guard service. But those are all hardwired. We don't rely on Wi-Fi for that because of this kind of Wi-Fi jammer possibility.
Now, another story that we want to touch on quickly here is one that I just ran across this morning, and it's from Malwarebytes, and they are reporting now, and this is according to the EFF, actually, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which is an advocacy group for consumers, that police are now using drones as flying automated license plate readers, ALPRs, according to a report. And where there's a market, a provider will jump in and Flock Safety. Flock are the people that have the hardwired cameras that you see around town now. Flock Safety recently told a group of potential law enforcement customers interested in DFRs, which is drones as first responders, that its drone can be used as a flying license plate reader camera as well. Wow.
Yeah, it's I'm not a big fan of license plate readers because they really are like a solution looking for a problem. And in certain places, it makes sense, like you're trying to allow entry to certain buildings based on license plates. But just the idea that you can send a drone out there and just record license plates and then use that information to basically search on somebody looking to see if they've committed a crime or anything.
Well, I could see one way that they would use them in our area, and that would be during car week, when you have a lot of people coming from outside the area that are hot rodding around town, like you hear about the hypercars and things like that, people breaking traffic laws and driving 80 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour speed zone. Flying drones would be one way of recording license plate numbers and that activity in order to investigate and then issue a ticket to those people. So I could actually see local police here investing in those drones as first responders for traffic enforcement during car week.
Yeah, and the idea that you can just send a drone up and record literally thousands of license plates. And by the way, license plate readers are not infallible. A lot of times they make mistakes because of the type of surveillance cameras that they have. So hopefully this won't be used for nefarious purposes purposes, and it'll be used for good, like you said.
Last story that we have here is, let's finish up on a positive note. Prime Days.
Yeah.
Prime Days are coming soon. Next week, I do believe we have our Prime Day.
Yeah, starting on Tuesday next week, you will be able to, go after some great deals. Amazon Prime Days are always when Amazon really deeply discounts a lot of their own products, like their TVs and cameras and things like that, but also a lot of other vendors, including Sony and Samsung and other TV manufacturers, discount their systems as well because they don't want to lose out to Amazon. So if you're looking to start shopping early for the holiday season, it's a good time to start. And in fact, you don't have to wait. Right now, if you go on Amazon, you'll see that there's a lot of free Prime Day specials that are available, including some steep discounts on Amazon Fire TVs, as well as their Echo devices and kitchen appliances, all sorts of stuff. So you should check it out if you're looking for something.
All right. Are you looking for anything for Prime Day?
I am. I'm actually, ever since I mentioned a couple of weeks ago that we got an Alexa Plus subscription now enabled. So it's the new Alexa AI, but some of my devices are too old to take advantage of it. So I'm looking to replace some of those. And I want to see, rather than buying them now, I want to see what kind of deals they have on Prime Day.
By the way, speaking of Amazon, I noticed that giant warehouse is they're moving along on it, and they've got the sidewalls on it. And I guess it'll just be a few more months before it's open and stocked with stuff.
Yep, they're hoping to get it open before next holiday season, so sometime about mid-year next year. But they still got to put in all the robots and do the parking lot and a bunch of other stuff. So even though the building looks like it's coming along nicely, there's still a lot of work to do.
So I wonder if, with this fulfillment center being in Salinas, right here in the neighborhood, if we order something from Amazon, is there a good chance it's going to be shipped directly from that facility? And if it's shipped from that facility and you're within, say the peninsula, 20 miles away, you might as well go with just ground shipment because it's probably going to arrive like the next day.
Yeah, if not the same day.
Yeah.
For Prime members especially, it's going to enable a lot of same-day delivery of things that are stocked in that warehouse. And the way that their algorithm works, it's really good at predicting what people in this area might be getting based on, historical patterns. So more than likely, according to some of the information that I've read, about 80% of the fulfillment for this area is going to come from that local warehouse.
Interesting. Wow. Well, when I get up on Mount Toro, I can see it as it's been going up, and it's quite a huge landmark. It's not.
It's a behemoth.
It's not as big as the old Firestone tire plant, which that building's 14 acres in and of itself. But the Amazon building is pretty doggone large, and you can really see it when you're up there that high. You look straight out, and boom, there it is.
Yeah, and especially when you're driving, down 101 South, and you see it kind of pop up all of a sudden out of nowhere. So it's an impressive thing.
It sure is. That's Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, joining us today on Power Talk Radio. Online, it's alvareztg.com, at AlvarezTG. That's the X handle. Luis, the toll-free number for your I-Team.
Give us a call at 866-78-I-TEAM. That's 866-784-8326.
And then looking ahead to Monday, we're going to be talking about AI.
Yep. California is setting the pace for the nation with enacting a new AI law that we'll talk more about.
All right. That's Monday morning starting at 8:30 right here on Power Talk Radio. Luis, thanks so much, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
You too, my friend. Take care.